Francis. Let's go, buddy. Let's not fritter away the best part of the day. Let's go, buddy.
Oh, why is it so sunny?
I bring the sun wherever I go, buddy.
Why did you wake me up?
Well, it's like this. Brother Anselmo and I have been offered a new parish in Labrador, see, and we wondered if you'd give us your blessing.
Oh, God, I had the most horrible dream.
Go ahead, I'll interpret for you.
Horrible. It was so spidery. I've never had such a spidery dream in my life. It was terrible.
Spiders, Dave. That's very interesting, very significant. Now, I had a very interesting case in Zurich some years back. A young person very much like yourself.
I'll forget it. Oh, God, I remember it now. I was at a swimming pool someplace, and a whole bunch of people kept making me dive for a can of medallion or coffee that was on the bottom. Well, every time I come up, they make me go back down again. I was crying, and I kept saying to everybody, you have your bathing suits on. Why don't you do a little diving too? And the only person that made any real sense of the dream was Professor Tupper. I mean, he was the only person that was there that I know made me detest me.
Detest you, eh? Very interesting. Why does he detest you? Without absolute frankness, you realize
Detest
that
me
man's a
because
fighter.
I'm in this crazy religion seminar he conducts, and I can never bring myself to smile back at him when he's being charming and Oxfordish. He's on Lend-Lease for somebody from Oxford, and he's just the most terribly sad, old, self-satisfied phony with just this wild and woolly white hair. You know, I think he goes into the men's room and muscles it up before he comes to class. I honestly do. And he has no enthusiasm whatsoever for his subject. Ego, yes. Enthusiasm, no. Which would be all right. Well, I mean, it wouldn't exactly be strange. Except that he keeps dropping these idiotic hints that he's a realized man himself and that we should all be pretty happy kids to have him in the country.
What was he doing as a fool?
That's exactly it. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. He was just standing there smiling and watching. Oh, he was the worst one there.
You look like hell, you know that?
Could have sat there all morning without saying that to me. Just don't start in on me right and early. I mean,
Nobody's starting in on you, buddy. You just happen to look like hell, that's all. I just got out of the tub and I'm sweating like a pig. Madame's lips are moving. The prayer is rising. Did I tell you I'm going to go to France this summer to make a picture? Did I tell you?
you didn't. Are you serious? What picture?
Oh, it's a long story. Some French joker's over here. I had lunch with him one day a couple of weeks ago. A real schnorrer, but sort of likable, and I think I've got him about half snowed into the idea of making a picture out of that Norman novel, the one I sent you.
Yes, well, that's exciting, Zooey. Well, if you go, when do you think you'd go?
It's not exciting. That's exactly the point. I love doing it, yes, God, yes, but I'd hate like hell to leave New York. I hate any kind of creative type that gets on any kind of ship. I don't give a goddamn what his reasons are. I was born here. I went to school here. I've been run over here twice on the same damn street. I have no business acting in Europe, for God's sakes.
So why do you go then if you feel that way?
Why do I go? I go because I'm tired as hell of getting up furious in the morning and going to bed furious at night. I go because I sit in judgment on every poor, ulcerous bastard I know. There's something I do to people's morale downtown I can't stand to watch much longer. I'll tell you exactly what I do. I make everybody feel as if they don't really want to do good work. They just want to get work done that will be thought good by everyone they know. That's what I do. What'd you say?
Nothing. I said, oh, God.
Why, oh God?
Look, nothing. Just don't jump on me, please. I was only thinking, that's all. I wish you could have seen me on Saturday. Talk about undermining people's morale. I absolutely ruined Lane's whole weekend. I mean, not only did I pass out on every hour on the hour, but here I'd gone all the way up there for a nice, normal, friendly, supposedly happy football game. And absolutely everything he said I either jumped on or contradicted or, I don't know, just spoiled. God, I simply could not keep a single opinion to myself. It was terrible.
Well, you're way off when you start railing at things and people instead of at yourself. We both are. I know I do the same damn thing about television, but it's wrong. It's us. I keep telling you that. Why are you so damn dense about it?
I'm not so damn dense about it. You
It's us! We're freaks, that's all. Those two bastards, they got us nice and early and they turned us into freaks with freakish standards, that's all. with a tattooed lady, and we're not going to have a moment's peace the rest of our lives until everybody else is tattooed too. On top of that, we all got wise child complexes. I mean, we never really got off the goddamn air, not one of us. We don't talk, we hold forth. We don't converse, we expound. At least I do. Anytime I'm in the room with somebody who has the usual number of ears, I either turn into a goddamn seer or a human hat-pin.
Do you really have an ulcer? Mother says you have an ulcer.
Yes, I have an ulcer, for Christ's sakes. This is Kali Yuga, buddy, the Iron Age. Anybody over 16 without an ulcer is a goddamn spy. I'm just sick to death of being the heavy in everybody's life. You should see Hessel and Sage when they're talking about a new show. They're as happy as little pigs until I show up. I feel like those dismal bastards Chang Zhu warned everyone against. Beware when the so-called sagely man comes limping into sight.
You know, this is all so funny you can't even imagine. I mean, I actually reached a point where I said to myself right out loud like a lunatic, if I hear one more picky, combining, unconstructive word out of you, Franny Glass, you and I are finished. And for a while, I wasn't that bad. About a whole month at least. I mean, anytime anybody said anything that sounded campy or phony or smelled that I had an ego, I just get quiet about it. Then one morning, bang, bang, I just started up again. I picked all day. I picked on Professor Fallon. I picked on Lane. When I talked to him on the phone, I picked on Professor Tupper. It just got worse and worse. And the worst part was I knew what a bore I was being. I knew how I was depressing people or even hurting their feelings, but I just couldn't stop. I could not stop picking. What happened was, I got the idea in my head, God, I could not get it out, that college was just one more dopey, inane place in the world dedicated to piling up treasure on earth. I mean, treasure's treasure, for heaven's sake. What's the difference whether the treasure is money or property or just plain knowledge? It all seemed like exactly the same thing to me. Well, I mean, if you take off the wrapping. And sometimes I think that knowledge, when it's just knowledge for knowledge's sake anyway, it's the worst of all. I mean, it's the least excusable, certainly. I don't think it all would have gotten quite so down if just once in a while, there was some little polite, perfunctory implication that knowledge should lead to wisdom, and that if it doesn't, it's just a disgusting waste of time.
Let me ask you something, Franny. What do you think you're doing with the Jesus prayer? I mean, as a matter of simple logic, I can't tell the difference between the person who's greedy for material treasure or even intellectual treasure and the person who's greedy for spiritual treasure. I mean, as you say, treasure's treasure, for God's sake. And it seems to me that half of the world-hating saints in history were just as unattractive and acquisitive, basically, as the rest of us are.
You know, I know all you're saying. You're not saying one single thing I haven't thought of myself. I mean, you're saying that I want something from the Jesus prayer, which makes me just as acquisitive in your word, really, as someone that wants a stable coat, or to be famous, or to be dripping with some kind of crazy prestige. I know all that. I mean, my gosh, what kind of an imbecile do you think I am?
All right, take it easy. Take it easy.
I can't just take it easy. You make me so mad. I mean, what do you think I'm doing here in this crazy room? Losing weight like mad, wearing Bessie and Les absolutely silly, upsetting the house and everything? I mean, don't you think I have enough sense to worry about my motives for saying the prayer? God, that's what's bothering me so much. I mean, just because I'm choosy about what I want, in this case enlightenment or peace or something, instead of money or prestige or fame or any of those things, doesn't mean I'm not as egotistical and self-seeking as everyone else, and I don't need the famous Zachary Glass to tell me that.
You want me to try and get Buddy on the phone? I think you should talk to somebody. I'm obviously no damn good for this. What about it, Franny? Shall I try and get Buddy on the phone?
I want to talk to Seymour.
God damn it. There's some nice things in the world. And I mean nice things. All such morons that get so sidetracked.
Well, I'm sorry. Can I blow my nose?
You finished?
Yes, I'm finished. My gosh, what a family. I mean, you take your life in your hands and you just want to blow your nose.
You know, Buddy once said something reasonably sensible a couple of years ago. He said that a man should be able to lie down at the bottom of a hill with his throat cut, slowly bleeding to death, and that if an old woman or a pretty girl should walk by with a beautiful jug balanced perfectly on top of her head, that he should be able to raise himself up on one arm and see the jug safely over the top of the hill. I'd like to see him do it, bastard. Everybody in this family has their goddamn religion in a different package. Prayer still going, eh? I'd rather like a word with you, Miss Glass, if you have a moment. Feel free to say your prayer if you like, or smoke, but give me 5 minutes of uninterrupted silence, buddy. And if possible, no tears at all. Okay? You hear me?
I hear you. You can say anything you want if you don't get abusive about it. I just don't feel like a workout this morning is the way I need it.
No workouts, buddy, no workouts. And if there's one thing I never am, it's abusive. A little brisk sometimes when the situation warrants, but abusive never. Personally, I find you catch more flies.
I mean it, Zooey. And I wish you'd sit up and spit. Every time all hell breaks loose around here, it seems very funny to me that it always comes from the spot right where you're lying. And you're always the one that's there. Come on, please sit up.
Fortunately, I know you don't mean that. Not deep down. We both know deep in our hearts that this is the only piece of hollow ground in this whole goddamn haunted house. It happens to be where I used to keep my rabbits, and they were saints, both of them. In fact, they were the only sellers of
Oh,
rabbits.
just shut up! Just start if you're going to. And all I ask is that you just try and be a little bit tactful the way I'm feeling right now, that's all. I mean, you are without doubt the most tactless person I've ever met in my life.
Tactless, never. Outspoken, yes. High-spirited, yes. Meddlesome, sanguine perhaps to a fault, but nobody
I
has
said
ever accused me
tactless.
of.
I mean, just get sick sometime and go visit yourself and you'll find out exactly how tactless you are. You are without a doubt the most impossible person to have around. If someone's not feeling up to par that I've ever met in my life. If someone has just a cold even, you know what you do? You give them a dirty look every time you see them. I mean, you are the most unsympathetic person in the history of the world.
All right, buddy. Nobody's perfect. You know, we say many things in heat, young lady, that we don't really mean and are very sorry for the next day. I think you think I have intentions of taking your prayer away from you, and I don't. God damn it. You can lie on that couch reciting the preamble of the Constitution
Oh,
for the rest
that's a
of your
beautiful start, just beautiful.
Listen, I know you're legitimately falling apart and all that, and I don't think it's an act. I'm not saying that. I don't think it's a subconscious plea for sympathy or any of that business. But I still say I don't like it. It's rough on Bessie, it's rough on Les, and in case you don't know it yet, you're beginning to give off a little stink of piousness.
Are you finished?
You know, I happen to remember a time around here when you were going through a little apostasy from the New Testament that could be heard for miles around. Everybody was in the army at the time, and I'm the one who got his ear bitten. Do you remember that at all?
I was all of 10 years old.
I know how old you were. My God, I'm not bringing this up with the intentions of throwing anything back in your teeth. Come on now. I'm bringing it up because I don't think you understood Jesus when you were a child, and I don't think you understand him now. I think you've got him confused in your mind with about 5 or 10 other religious personages. And I don't see how you can continue with your prayer until you know who's who and what's what. Do you remember what started off that little apostasy, Franny? Do you? Well, I do. Matthew chapter 6. I remember it very clearly, buddy. I even remember where I was. I was back in my room putting some tape on my hockey stick, and you banged in all in an uproar with the Bible wide open. You didn't like Jesus anymore, and you wanted to know if you could call Seymour at his army camp and tell him. And do you remember why you didn't like Jesus anymore? Well, the first thing you didn't approve of was him going into the synagogue and throwing all those tables and idols around. That was very rude, very unnecessary. And the other thing you didn't approve of, the thing you had the Bible open to, were the lines, "Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, nor do they reap, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them." That was okay. That you approved of. But when Jesus says in the next breath, "Are ye not much better than they?" Oh, that's where little Franny gets off. That's where little Franny quits the Bible and goes straight to Buddha, who doesn't discriminate against those nice fowls of the air. You're constitutionally unable to love or accept any son of God who throws tables around and who says that a human being, even a Professor Tupper, is more valuable to God than a soft, helpless little
And I
Easter
suppose you can.
Well, it's beside the point whether I can, but yes, as a matter of fact. I mean, I don't feel like going into it, but at least I've never tried to turn Jesus into St. Francis of Assisi to make him more lovable. Not that it's to my credit, I'm just not attracted to the St. Francis type. But you are, and if you ask me, that's one of the reasons why you're having this little breakdown. And especially why you're having it here. I mean, this place is made to order for you. The service is good, there's lots of hot and cold running ghosts. You can lie around here, say your prayer, well, Jesus, St. Francis, and Seymour all into one. Can't you see that? Can't you see how unclearly, how sloppily you're looking at things? There's nothing 10th rate about you, but you're up to your neck at this minute in 10th rate thinking. Not only is the way you're going at the prayer 10th rate religion, but you're having a 10th rate nervous breakdown. I've seen some real breakdowns, and the people who had them didn't pick and choose the place that...
Just stop it.
Just a minute. I mean, why are you breaking down this stuff? If you can go into collapse with all of your might, why can't you use that same energy to say well and busy? I'm being unreasonable now. I'm being very goddamn unreasonable. God, and you try with little patience I was born with. I mean, you took one look around your college campus and the world and one season of summer stock, and you decide everything's ego, ego, ego. And the only sensible thing for a girl to do is lay around and shave her head and say the Jesus prayer and beg God for a little mystical experience that'll make her
Will you shut up, please?
Just a second. I mean, you keep screaming about egos. My God, it would take Christ himself to decide what's ego and what isn't. What about your beloved Emily Dickinson? You want your Emily, every time she has an urge to write a poem, to just sit down and say a prayer till her nasty, egotistical little urge goes away? No, of course you don't. But you want your Professor Tucker's ego taken away from him. That's different. You know, whenever I say, I sound as though I'm undermining your Jesus prayer, and I'm not, goddammit. I'm just against how and where and why you're using it. I'd love to be convinced that you're not using it as a substitute for doing whatever the hell your duty in life is. Worse than that, though, I don't see how you can pray to a Jesus you don't even understand. I mean, Jesus was a supreme adept by God on a terribly important mission. This was no St. Francis, buddy, with enough time on his hands to preach to the birds or do any of the other things so dear to Franny Glass's heart. I mean, who in the Bible besides Jesus knew that we're carrying the kingdom of heaven around with us inside, or we're all too goddamn stupid and unimaginative to look? When you miss seeing that, you miss the whole point of the prayer. It has one aim and one aim only, to endow the person who's saying it with Christ consciousness, not to set up some cozy little holier-than-thou trysting place with some sticky, adorable, divine personage who will take you up in his arms and relieve you of all your duties.